Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Jackie Broman here. You'll hear my voice is a bit husky today. And I just went and had a COVID test. So it's the first time I've had a COVID test and the first time I've been sick in 12 months. Not very happy, but it just goes to show that I've picked it up from somewhere, so I'm clearly not hand sanitizing enough. But still coming to you live. I'm obviously able to still work and do everything via Zoom. And today I wanted to talk about the benefits of a testamentary trust if you're doing wills, and this is specifically the benefits of testamentary trust for your children, because you can look at a testamentary trust for a spouse, and there might be some situations where you would do that, but generally we try and own as much as our assets as possible jointly with our spouse. So a testamentary trust would not really be suitable in that situation. But certainly if you're thinking about setting your children up with a investment vehicle as their inheritance, then a testamentary trust is worthwhile thinking about. And for those who have accountants or financial planners, it's also worthwhile asking them whether it's worth whether a testamentary trust is something you should consider, because they'll also have a view. I suppose there's two different scenarios. There's where children are minors, or there's where children are adults. So when they're minors, we're going to be setting up a form of testamentary trust regardless, because children can't inherit until they're at least 18, and in most situations we extend that age out until they're about 25. So that's my favorite average age. Now, that form of trust that we set up is called a minor's trust. So that happens automatically because it's held back. But then once they reach the age that you specify, it comes out of trust and they get their inheritance. So when we talk testamentary trust, we're actually talking what's called a testamentary discretionary trust, like setting up a family trust, but it's in your will. So in that situation for minors, it would be in the trust until they're 25, and then when they get to 25, they can then take over control of the trust, but it doesn't actually come out of the trust. And then if you have adult children, you can also specify that their inheritance goes into a trust, and so they inherit the control of a family trust rather than inheriting their inheritance into their own name. So the main benefits, just like a family trust that you might set up while you were alive, there are the benefits of income splitting. Okay, so that can help with keeping tax low, particularly if your adult child is earning a good wage. They may not want to have to pay more tax, and so income splitting is very helpful. There's also some other tax benefits on testamentary trusts that there aren't on other trusts, and that benefit flows all the way down to your children's children and their grandchildren, and so there can be quite a bit of tax saving over the generations as well. But one of the really important benefits, I guess, that most people are looking for is to be able to protect the inheritance that their children are getting from either future bankruptcy or insolvency issues, or creditors wanting to attack their assets for some reason, but also from a relationship breakdown and protecting their inheritance from being halved, I guess, with a spouse. And a testamentary trust can do both of those things to an extent. So we have all sorts of clauses in the testamentary trust to help get over a couple of hurdles that the powers of the courts have. And at most, the way we set up our trusts, if your child were to separate from a future spouse, their inheritance and their testamentary trust would be considered a financial resource of their own, so it shouldn't be pulled into the property pool of the relationship. So those are some of the benefits of a testamentary trust. Tax, income splitting, and asset protection. And the other thing, I guess, is when you're setting trusts up as well, you're thinking about control and succession of that too. And being able to have consistent control throughout, or a transfer of those control powers can be quite important for some people. It's one of the objectives that they often have when they're doing succession planning. So there you are, just a really quick summary, I guess, of some of the benefits for a testamentary trust. If you're thinking about testamentary trust for your kids. Now, like I said, there might be some situations where you might consider a testamentary trust for a spouse, but less likely or less common, really. It's more likely after both parents have passed and you're looking at the inheritance going down to the next generation. So if you want any more information, in fact, on our website, there's a whole lot of articles that I've done on this. This video as well will be saved onto the Facebook page. So if it was of interest for you and you think it might be of interest for anyone else, please tag their name in it. There's actually lots of videos on the Facebook page. So if there are other things there of interest, please go and recycle those too. You can always forward them to someone else privately via direct message if you wanted to. If there's anything that anyone really wants me to, are these the same as a family trust in some ways? Except that a family trust is usually set up while you're alive, whereas a testamentary trust is like a family trust that you have dormant sitting in your will, so it doesn't activate and it's not triggered until death. So yes, very similar. But there's still some more tax benefits on testamentary trusts that the government hasn't attacked yet, whereas they have on ordinary family trusts. So yeah, if you didn't jump on at the start, Jeff, I'll post this and you can go back and start from the start. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, please either send a message through the Facebook page, or if you jump on our website, my direct email address is there as well. If there's any other questions that you want me to specifically answer on a Monday at 10, that's when I do the Join Jackie, these little sessions, and I just give short snippets of legal information. So I'll catch you again next Monday. Hopefully my COVID test comes back fine, because there's no COVID in Victoria at the moment. Apparently it's just a cold. Otherwise, have a great week. See you next time.